press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back to your English grammar class. I'm happy to be back again with another sector or another section of your grammar tense or text that you have to study, that is question forms. We are going to study how do we question, how can we frame questions. There are different kinds. Here again you will have rules, certain things that you must follow while you ask a question. Now basic questions we ask, isn't it? How are you? What are you doing? Where is your house? Where are you from? Do I know you? These are basic questions that we do ask. But don't we ask questions like these? Isn't this your book? Doesn't he love you? Did he bring a packet of chocolates? We do ask those kind of questions. Isn't, shouldn't, mustn't, couldn't, all those are also added. Now I'll make it very easy for you how or what kind of questions you have to ask or frame. Now with relation to your exam point of view, or what you're going to get for your exams is barely 1 mark. Yet you must study everything that I'm teaching you today. You're going to get it in do as directed, okay, or rewrite as directed. That will be the title of the question. A 6-mark question. Out of that, 1 is question forms. You'll get it. Just a second, I'll tell it to you. Okay. You will be given a sentence. For example, the students can speak English. In the bracket you'll get add a question tag. Either to add a question tag at the end. I'll tell you how at the end, or how you frame a basic question like this, like how are you? Okay. So this is for 1 mark that you get, or 2 marks, sorry, 2 marks. One is that add a question tag. Second one is you will get it like this. Frame a question so as to get the underlined word as the answer. Frame a question so as to get the underlined word as the answer. Now the sentence like this. The lion wanted peace and tranquility in his kingdom. What did the lion want is the question. What did the lion want? Are you getting peace and tranquility is underlined? Are you getting peace and tranquility as the answer? Yes, you are getting. What did the king want, or the lion want? Peace and tranquility in his kingdom. The question was, the lion wanted peace and tranquility in his kingdom. Peace and tranquility is underlined. Frame a question so that you get the underlined word as the answer. So these are 2 kinds where it will come from. One is to add a question tag in the end. One is to frame a question. I'll tell you what's the difference between a tag and the framing a question. Now tag, have you seen if there are any brands? Okay, any brand, oil or alcohol or this one, shoes, chocolates, whatever it is. They do have a tagline, isn't it? When they have given you if you have seen advertisements on Kit Kat, on Dairy Milk, okay, you do get their tagline in that. Similarly, you have brands of clothes, you have shoes which also give their brand. Below that there is a tag that is given. That tag identifies the product or how you remember it, isn't it? Now one tag I can remember, or if I have to say of the Red Bull which gives you wings, isn't it? That's a tag. I hope you follow, that's a tag. And I cannot be recalling any other, that's why I was trying to figure out. That was one I remember. That's a tag. Similarly, here questions also a tag. Now what I'm writing on the board, I want you to take down. As I say every time, I want you to write down at least 2 examples for your reference. So let's start. We'll do the background part of it, and we'll also do some examples so that you understand. Now, why do you make questions? There are certain short questions that you ask at the end of every statement. You can write like this: short questions asked at the end of every statement. Now basically they serve as 2 functions. Why do you ask a question at the end of the statement? Basically serves 2 functions. Mostly it is used in speech while we speak. So you can figure it out like this. Usually used in speech, okay, when we want to do certain things. When we want to confer about or know something that is true or not. We want to know something. Did he come today? We want to know, did he really come or he did not come? Okay, so one is to know the truth value, whether it is true or no. To confess something or to confirm something, write that as the first point. Confirm something, confirm that, okay, confirm that something is true or not. Confirm that something is true or not. That's the first one. Second one is to encourage reply from the person we are speaking to. To encourage reply from the person we are speaking to. Now take this down. It's better if you write along with me. You can finish when I finish. Okay. Now we'll understand these 2 statements and then we'll go on to certain basic ways of understanding of how to frame certain questions. Alright. Now, question is asked in the end of every statement. Usually used in speech while we are speaking. While we are speaking, we do use it more. So, why do we use it? First one is whether to know something is true or not. Okay? Simple statement, I hope you can understand. Second one is when we are asking somebody something, we want to reply back. Now when you're talking on the phone, don't you ask, how are you? The person in return replies, I'm fine, I'm good, thank you, whatever. In order to get a reply from that person, we do ask certain questions. Sometimes our questions are of confirmation. That is, I want to confirm something from you. Are you coming to the party tonight? Are you coming? He can give you a question, yes or no. Are you coming? I am not coming. I am coming. I can give you both answers. Sometimes it's confirmation. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you really want to know the answer. Okay? Sometimes when you want to know an exact answer, certain questions are also asked. We'll see that when we come to the examples. Now, first one is positive sentences. We'll write that down. First one is where we use a question tag in positive sentences. Now, we may have always heard that you must stay positive, think positive. Sentences also say, take me as positive. What are the kind of positive sentences? I am attending the meeting is a positive statement. I am attending the meeting. That means I am going to come there. I will come. I am attending the meeting. I am not attending the meeting. No, not, never, none, all are negative words. I'll come to that. I am attending the meeting is a positive sentence. I am not attending the meeting is a negative statement. So when there is a positive sentence or when there is a positive statement, what you got to do is you have to use a negative question tag. So when there is positive, it's negative. When you have a negative statement, you use a positive question tag. So here, use negative question tag. When it's positive, it's negative. All right? Here, let's see an example. The first example is over here. I'll write it as ABC. Okay? She is a doctor. Okay. Now what you have to fill here is a question tag. Okay, you're giving a tag here. What you got to fill over here is a question tag. Exam point of view, you will also get it like this, but the question will be here. All right. She is a doctor. Now, you must pick the helping verb there. Is. She is a doctor. The question tag will be isn't she. Isn't she. What is isn't? Is not. That is negative. Not is added there. So it becomes a negative question tag. Isn't she? She is a doctor, isn't she? Okay, she is a teacher, isn't she? Alright, so she is a doctor. What you got to do is, there are exceptions, we'll come to that later, but here, you make this is as isn't. Sometimes very simple as that. Pick the verb there and then helping verb. We have studied verbs. So pick it and write it here. I'll give you one more example. Yesterday was so much fun. Write B. Yesterday was so much fun. Again, you got to pick the verb there. Helping was. Auxiliary. Alright, yesterday was so much fun. Wasn't it? Now, why did you add she here? Because she is mentioned here. Alright, there nothing of that kind of he, she is mentioned. So, wasn't it? Yesterday was so much fun. Wasn't it? Wasn't it? Now, when I am teaching you, we will see very little examples, and then when we are working out exercises, we will go on to many more examples that are there. One more example I will give you. They didn't help her. Okay. Just a second. They did help her. They did help her. So it's a positive sentence. They did help her. That is, she did really help them. Did is picked up there. So didn't. Didn't. They didn't. They did help her, didn't they? Okay? Didn't they? Did not. Did not they help her? Didn't they help her? Right? Okay. Moving on, what is called as, this is positive sentences where you have to use a negative question tag. Now we'll see what is a negative sentence. Now you must understand one thing there. All those exercises given in your workbook are for your practice. So you don't expect them to come like that. Alright, we'll go to that later. Now, the next one is negative sentences. So the second one. Negative sentences. Now, here you use a positive question tag. Okay, here you use a positive question tag because the sentence is negative, you use positive. Alright, now example is, first one, he isn't here. He isn't here. So isn't is negative, is not, is plus not, isn't. Alright, he isn't here. So the question will be, is he? Is he here? He isn't here. The second one is, the trains are never on time. The trains are never on time. Okay. Now, you cannot see anything that is isn't, mustn't, shouldn't, couldn't, okay, shall not. You're not saying anything of that. But there is one word which is giving the meaning in a negative sense. Which kind of negative sense does that word give to us? Okay. The trains are never, never. That means not coming on at any time. That is the negative sense in the statement. Are never. So the question tag will be, are they? Are they? So positive question tag. Are they? The trains are never on time. Are they? He is not, he is never on time. Is he? Okay, so that is how you find. I'll give you one more. Nobody has called me for, okay, nobody has called me. Nobody has called me. Nobody suggests negative. So you must be able to pick out your words where there is nothing added with not, like isn't, mustn't, shouldn't, okay, couldn't. If there is nothing of that sort, you must know how to pick your negative words in the statement. I've told you no, never, not, none, nobody, barely, rarely, scarcely, that will come later. Yet, here, nobody becomes negative. So nobody has called me, has becomes have there, have they. Now we have learnt about how it changes to has to have. Go back and look at your lessons on tenses and subject verb agreement. Nobody has called me. Have they called me? No, nobody has called me. No, not, never, none. Okay, alright. So these are negative sentences where you use a positive question tag. Now, we'll come to the next one, that's an auxiliary verb. The third one. An auxiliary verb. It's called as a helping verb, which we have already learned in verbs. Helping, it's helping you to do something. Now, alright, now I'll give you examples. See, if there is an auxiliary verb in the statement, we use it to form a question tag. Whatever auxiliary verb is there in the sentence, that is picked out to form the question tag. I'll tell you the example. First example, I don't need to finish this today. Okay, I don't need to finish this today. I don't need to finish this today. Don't, do not is an auxiliary there. Do not. So you have to form a positive question tag because the word do not or don't, though it's an auxiliary, it's still in the negative sense. Do I. Why I? Because the person, the subject here is I. Do I. Always remember to put a question mark in the end, otherwise you'll lose marks. Alright, next one. James is working on that. James is working on that. So the subject here is James. Auxiliary is. The verb, helping verb is. Working is the action there on that, whatever it is. So what can we pick the auxiliary and then form the question tag. So how do we form? Because it is positive, we form a negative statement or a negative question tag, that is isn't who, isn't he. Okay, don't write isn't James, you can write isn't he, because it is not pleasant to use the same subject there again. See, when you make a statement like this, James is working on that. James is attending the meeting. No, it's not wrong. It is not right, isn't it? The right form is he will be attending the meeting or he is attending the meeting. Why do you use he there again? Because no repetitive things to be used. So here it is an auxiliary which is in positive. So you use there isn't he. Okay, the next example is your parents have retired. Retired. Okay, your parents have retired. What's the question tag? Have is an auxiliary there. Okay, your parents have retired. Haven't they? Parents refers to they. Haven't they? Okay. We'll stop at these examples. Now, sometimes a possibility that there is no auxiliary or a helping verb that is there. Now, whenever the verb that is there is in present simple or past simple tense, then and the sentence is positive, then we always use don't, doesn't, didn't. Okay, I'll give you examples, but understand the statement again. When we don't have an auxiliary, when we don't have an helping verb in the statement, okay, already present in the statement, sometimes there is no auxiliary. Here you need to use because it doesn't make sense to the statement. Sometimes there is no auxiliary used in the statement. You can directly say a statement. Now, when there is no auxiliary and when the statement is in present simple and past simple tense, you've already learned tenses, go back and look at your lessons, past simple and present simple tense, okay, and if the sentence is positive, then we use question tags like don't, doesn't, didn't. Okay, now I'll write it in short form over here. The third one, under the third one itself you write, because it's coming with no auxiliary. I'll write it in a short way so that you understand. So no auxiliary, there is no auxiliary. Okay, if there is no auxiliary and the sentence is in present simple or past simple, sentence is in present or past simple, and if the sentence is positive, what do you use? You use question tags like don't, doesn't, didn't. Okay? Okay. So when there is no auxiliary, when the sentence is in present simple or past simple and the sentence is positive, you use question tags like don't, doesn't, didn't. Now I'll show you examples. Jenny eats cheese. Jenny eats cheese. Now, there is no auxiliary here. Eating itself is a verb, it's an action there. Jenny eats cheese. Can you see no auxiliary? Without auxiliary also the sentence makes sense. Now, what are we supposed to use? The sentence is in simple, present simple. Jenny eats cheese. Okay, so we are supposed to use these question tags that are there. Jenny eats cheese, doesn't she? It's already mentioned that the sentence, and if the sentence is, where is that? Positive. So this sentence is positive. We are using a negative question tag. Doesn't she eat cheese? Yes, she eats cheese. You have an answer to your question. Alright, I said that already. Next example, I said that already. I have already told that to you. I said that already. Didn't I? Didn't I? Okay? Then, these are examples. Now, we'll see when there are modal verbs. How do we write it? Just a second. Okay. I'll give you an example for don't. Adventures fascinate you. Adventures fascinate you. Add a question tag. Don't they? Adventures fascinate you. Don't they fascinate you? They do fascinate you. So do, doesn't, didn't in the place when there is no auxiliary and when the sentence is in present simple or past simple and the statement is in positive. So you must remember these rules, otherwise just a guesswork sometimes will do, but still if you know, it's better. Now we have studied modal auxiliaries or modal verbs that are there. Could, couldn't, should, shouldn't, will not, okay, shall not. Okay. The next, possibly the fourth one, yes, the fourth one. Modal verbs. Okay. Now, we'll give you the examples so that you can understand better. Could, couldn't, should, shouldn't, shall not, or shan't. Okay. These are what we studied in modal verbs. Now we'll see an example here. They could hear me. They could hear me. Positive statement, you have to form a negative question tag. They could hear me. Couldn't they? They is here. Couldn't they? Next example, you won't tell anyone. You won't tell anyone. You won't tell anyone. Will you? Will and will not. Won't. Okay? You won't tell anyone, will you? Now, this is mostly used in speech, isn't it? Now, we as Indians speaking English, we don't use these kind of things. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be using, we should actually, but it is a kind of a disadvantage of such that we are not using these kind of sentences or these kind of question tags as we talk. How do we talk English? We do talk English keeping a mother tongue in mind. We think in the mother tongue, speak in English. Very wrong. You think in English and speak in English. That time your formation of sentence is right. If you are thinking in your mother tongue, the tense there in your mother tongue is completely different from the tense in English. So you can't match the tenses there. There it may be a reversal. If in this case it is a straight statement, there the tense may be reversed. So always when you're talking, think in that particular language and talk. Otherwise there is no connection between your speech and the function that your brain is doing. Here, these kind of statements you should talk. You should use it in your speech. You won't tell anyone, will you? How do we say? By directly translating the mother tongue? Don't tell this to anyone. Isn't it? We do that. Why? Exact translation of the mother tongue. Students, I don't want you to do this mistake. We do say, don't tell to anyone. How you have translated your mother tongue, any other tongue that is. For example, you won't tell anyone, will you? Is a better form of asking. Same thing, actually it means the same, but you are asking in a different way. Okay, now I want you to have this observation for yourself. How many statements you directly translate from your mother tongue? This is your kind of work. You have to do self-observation. Self-observation will help you speak better. See the number of statements, when you speak to your friends especially, see the number of statements you directly translate from your mother tongue. If you were here, I could tell you, this is how it is. Right now, we are very far away, and that's all I can tell you. Observe yourself until we can meet, and then maybe possibly I can tell you something else. Alright, so these are modal verbs. Now, we'll move on to understanding something else. Now, if the main verb or the auxiliary verb in the statement is am, you write it like this. Write it like an extra point. If the main verb or the auxiliary, okay, if the main verb or the auxiliary in this statement is am, is am, okay, am, then the positive question tag is am I. Am I? Okay? Am I intelligent? Am I beautiful? Am I good? am I bad, whatever. Okay? Now, then, but if the question tag is negative, then we use aren't I, are not, aren't I. Okay, now understand this like this. Positive question tag, if there is a positive question tag, you ask am I. If there is a negative question tag, you ask aren't I. Now, I'll see examples. I'm never on time. I am never on time. Okay. Okay. All right. Can you see the verb here, the main verb am, okay? So, I am never on time, am I? Why am I? Sentence is negative. I'm never on time. Now, I think you're going to get confused with this. Let me make it simpler for you. If the main verb of the auxiliary is am, okay, and negative positive sentences you keep in mind, don't change that. Here, am, okay, I'm never on time, am I, just switch it, am I, alright. I'll give you one more example for aren't I. I'm going to get an email with the details. I am going to get an email with details. Very positive statement. You have to use a negative question tag because he is saying I am. I am is a shortened version. I am going to get an email with details. Very sure that he's going to get an email with details. Aren't I? Aren't I? All right. See, positive question tag, am I. Negative question tag, aren't I. But keep in mind, positive statement and a negative statement. The first one I'll explain again. I am never on time is a negative statement because of the word never. But there is I am. So you have to form, because of the negative statement, you have to form a positive question tag, which is you're saying, am I? Am I? Am I on time? I am never on time. Okay, the second one is, I'm going to get an email with details. I am going to receive an email, what is that, an email with, there is surety here, isn't it, that he or she is going to get an email with details. So because of the positive statement, you're using a negative question tag, that is, aren't I? Aren't I going to get an email with details? I am. I'm going to get. All right. Now, we'll see if there are negative adverbs. That is, what is verb? Some little extra, some action. Verb is an action. Adverbs are some extra information about the verb. We'll see certain negative adverbs where it will also have, it will come in a statement like this, like never. I still suggest you to write this in key, because at least while you're working out those exercises, if you refer, you'll understand it. Otherwise, you should help yourself. Negative adverbs. The fifth one. I think so, fifth one, yeah. Negative adverbs. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The fifth one. Now, negative adverbs such in like this, like never, rarely, seldom, hardly. Seldom, hardly, barely, scarcely. And following. You're rarely to be seen. You're never on time. Barking dog seldom bite. He hardly finishes his work on time. He barely loves me. That product is scarcely found in the market. Are you getting all these statements that I told you? I'll repeat. He's never on time. You're rarely to be found over here. Barking dog seldom bite. He hardly finishes his work on time. He barely loves me. The product is scarcely found in the market. So these are statements that are there. Now, even the statement is negative, again the feeling is also negative. Now here if I say this, he barely loves me, I am feeling that negative statement, or I am feeling that negative vibe, isn't it? That does it. This product is scarcely found in the market. I really wanted it, I badly wanted it. It is not there, my negative feeling. He hardly finishes his work on time. I wanted him to finish that work on time. He's still not finishing, okay? A negative vibe that he's giving me, he or she. Then, okay, now, we'll see examples. He never came again. He never came again. He never came again. So you have to use did he. Did he come again? He never came again. So see, while you frame questions, even before you write it for your exams or for anywhere, think before you write, seek your answer for the question and then write. Did he come again? He never came again. Are you getting an answer for the question? You are. You must get an answer for the question there. So see the statement first, ask the question to yourself, see if it's right, and then proceed to write. And then, she can rarely come these days. Okay. She can rarely come these days. She can rarely come these days. Negative statement, positive question tag. Can she? Easy as it is, can she? Now with so many examples, I hope you're getting a picture of how to do it. Yet I will do some examples for you, work it out for you, and then we'll see. You hardly ever come late. You hardly ever come late. Do you? Okay. You hardly ever come late. Do you come late? Did you come late? You hardly ever come late. Do you? Do you? Yeah. Do you can go. Did you come late? You hardly ever come late. Did or just a second. You hardly ever come late. Do you come late? Okay, that's right. Did you come late is also right. I barely know you. Okay, you write did here. I barely know you. Do I? I barely know you. Do I know you? I barely know you. Okay? Then, you would scarcely expect her to know that. Okay, you would scarcely expect her to know that. Would you? Would you? Okay. Now, till here, we studied positive statement, negative question tag. Negative statement, positive question tag. Now what I am going to tell you is there is a possibility of having the same tags. Positive statement, positive question tag, negative statement, negative question tag. Don't get confused, easy as it is. Till here, know what you studied. Now, there is a possibility sometimes. We'll find out what's that possibility. Okay, same tag, possibility. Same way, tag questions. So it is same way, tag questions. Here, I told you basic structure is positive, negative, negative, positive. Here it is positive, positive, negative, negative. Now, where do we use this? We use this to express, you can write it down. Use this to express interest, surprise, anger, or certain kind of emotions. Anger, interest, excitement, okay, etc. Anger, interest, excitement, surprise, all right? Okay. Now see the questions here. So you are having a baby. So you are having a baby. Okay. Excitement, isn't it? So you are having a baby. Then excitement. There, question will go, are you having a baby? Okay, are you? She is having a baby. Okay, she is having a baby, or they are having a baby, aren't they? In that terms. They are having you are telling it to the third person there. They are having a baby, aren't they? Here is a direct question. So you are having a baby. Are you? asking a question in form of an excitement that is there. She wants to marry him. She wants to marry him. She wants to marry him. Does she? Okay? Again, kind of a surprise. Does she want to marry him? Does she? Next one. So you think that's funny. So you think that's funny. So you think that's funny. Okay? Do you? Do you? So are you seeing the positive connections that are there? So you think that's funny. So you don't think that's funny is not written. You think. It's a positive. She wants to marry him. Positive. You are having a baby is a positive statement. Let's see negative statements. So you don't like my looks. So you don't like my looks is the statement. Don't is negative. Don't you? So you don't like my looks, don't you? See, these kind of statements are, if you watched English movies, then you must be very familiar with these kind of statements. Very much familiar, because for them it is part and parcel of their life. They use it every day. Even for us as Indian speakers, we watch them, we would get it. We would get it for ourselves. But if we don't use it in our day-to-day communication with anybody else who is talking the same thing as ours, then we tend to lose it. Yet even if you know the meaning. So these kind of statements are very much visible in English movies. See movies which have subtitles. You may not follow their American or British accent as easily as you can with the Indian version of speaking. You watch them with subtitles so that you can read. At least if you are not following, you can at least read and figure out what they are saying. Alright? Okay. So these were the rules that I had to tell you. 6 of them. 6 of them, there are many more, but if you know this much is more than enough. Now, in your workbook, what you have is yes or no questions. Don't expect it to come just as it is in the workbook. I've already told you in the beginning. Yet, say the first example, that is the Giant has bought a notebook. Has Giant bought a notebook? You're asking a question. Hasn't Giant bought a notebook? That example is given. You're answering yes or no. Do you like biryani? Yes or no. Do you like that place? Yes. Has she done her work? Yes or no. She has not. Whatever, you can answer yes or no also. Did you like his speech? Yes or no. So yes or no questions in your workbook. Next, rearrange the jumbled statements in yes or no questions in your page number 24 if you are seeing what I am trying to tell you now. Page number 24. Rearrange it and form yes or no. Indians speak, do. Indians English speak, do. Do Indians speak English? Yes. Next one. Ramnagar is a big city. Ramnagar is a big city. Or is Ramnagar, okay, you have to form a question. Is Ramnagar a big city? Okay. Does she visit, okay, does she visit your friends? The next one. The rest of them, please work it out. Now, again, WH questions. Now, WH questions can be why. In this you remember 5W, 1H. Why, what, where, when, Why, what, where, when. 5W1H. Just a second. Why, what, where, when. Why, what, who. Okay, who and how. Why, what, where, when, who, how. Okay, 5W1H you remember for WH question. Why are you doing this to me? What is your name? Where are you from? When will you be free? Who are you talking to? How is your health? You get that? Why, what, where, when, who, how. These are ways where you frame your questions. These are where you frame your questions. Why, what, where, when, who, how. Alright, 5W1H questions. There, what is asked? Frame WH questions to get the underlined word as the answer. Now, Shashi Rekha spends the weekdays with her family. Who spends the weekdays with her family? Now, here, again, I told you in the beginning the peace and tranquility question. Again, you have to form a question like these, where you will find the underlined word as the answer. Alright? So, that is what is done for you. Next, page number 26. Again, you have to form WH questions. After that is question tag. Now, question tag I'll give you for certain examples. Then, after that is you have to match the following with the question tag. Alright. Now, I'll tell you certain examples. It is cold, isn't it? They didn't help her, did they? They didn't help her, did they? Sneha is a sincere girl. Sneha is a sincere girl. All positive statements there, what I told you just now. Isn't she? Isn't she a sincere girl? Mrs. Patil donated generously. Mrs. Patil donated generously. Didn't she? Didn't she? They knew Mr. Suleiman. They knew Mr. Suleiman. Didn't they? Didn't they know Mr. Suleiman? The farmers have taken to organic farming. The farmers have taken, haven't they? Okay, haven't they? I hope you're figuring out. I want you to observe on the statements that I tell you. The children spend more time on games, don't they? Don't they? I can't think of insulting my friend. I can't think. Can I? Question tag. I can't think of insulting my friend. Can I? She loves her parents immensely. She loves her parents immensely. Doesn't she? Doesn't she? You did not write this down, no problem. Just listen. I am not going to give up. I am not going to give up. So, what you have to go back there, I am not going to give up. Am I? Am I going to give up? The man's house was demolished. Man's house was demolished, wasn't it? He brought a bundle of plants. He brought a bundle of plants, didn't he? Chetan is the youngest magician in the world. Chetan is the youngest magician in the world, isn't he? There was a merry look in her eyes. There was a merry look in her eyes. Wasn't there? Or wasn't there a merry look in her eyes? No. Sometimes questions are form of do. Okay, do, did, does. Now here, the student thanked the teacher. The student thanked the teacher. Did the student thank the teacher? Mary forgot to bring the library books. Mary forgot to bring the library books. Did she forget to bring the library books. My neighbor teaches English to school dropouts. My neighbor teaches English to school dropouts. Does she teach English to school dropouts? Alright. The villagers found a wounded leopard. Did they? Okay, now WH we'll see. They sang songs to encourage the athletes. They sang songs to encourage the athletes. Now the underlined word is encourage the athletes. What did they do to encourage the athletes? What did they do? They sang songs. Sang songs is underlined. They sang songs to encourage the athletes. What did they do to encourage the athletes? The mayor was trembling. What was the mayor was trembling? Okay, shivering. What was the mayor doing? Then Babu's wife found it very strange. Babu's wife found it very strange. Whose wife found it very strange? Okay, add whose also, but these are basic. Anyway, you can add whose, but understand these are basic. 5W, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, 5W, 1H, add whose also, but those 5 and 1H is basic. Alright, so these are WH way of asking questions. I'll give you 2 examples of what are going to come in your exam point of view from the old question papers, and with that we will wind up. Okay. Just a second. Now, after we finish this class, I want you to complete the exercises in your workbook. Just wait, there is a question missing. Okay. It's a question tag. Add a question tag. The 2 boys didn't expect any help from others. The 2 boys didn't expect. It's a negative question tag. So, did they expect? They didn't expect. Alright. Now change the question beginning with the right form of do. Do is do, does, did. Okay. Do, does, did. Right form of do. The owner asked the narrator to take off his coat. The owner asked the narrator to take off his coat. Okay. Owner asked the narrator to take off his coat. Did the owner ask the narrator to take off the coat, take off his coat? So this is how you get. Possibly I can tell you one more. Venice is a picturesque city in Gentleman of Verona. Venice is a picturesque city, isn't it? Isn't it? Because the question is positive. Then question. You may get question forms of do, question of WH questions, just to frame them. Okay, frame the question so as to get the underlined word as answer. Now, Babar Ali has brought a significant change in the field of education. Babar Ali has underlined, is underlined. Babar Ali has brought a significant change in the field of education. Who has brought a significant change in the field of education? Alright. So, you get question tags, you get underlined word as the answer and the form of do. Okay, do, does, did. Alright, I think with this I can stop. In case, work out all the exercises of your workbook. In case you have any problem, please comment on the comment box. I would suggest you to look up to the internet and work out few more examples on framing questions and question tags. Question forms is what we studied in the form of asking WH questions in the form of do or yes or no or question tags. Thank you students for listening. Keep working out, keep learning, have a revision of all your texts that you have already done and keep continuously reading your lessons because all these statements are picked up from your lessons. This I have been emphasizing, I have been telling you, I'll still tell you till the end. You have to read. Okay, reading will help you better. And try to speak in English. I have given you an assignment or a self-observation that you have to do. What is that? That is observe yourself on how you translate your local or mother tongue into English. With that, I think I can stop here. Thank you very much for listening.